And this is look, I said before, the big talented man will always beat the small talented fighter.
One of the most eagerly awaited matchups in boxing is the potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Both world champions have voiced their interest in a fight that could define their era. Crawford, in particular, has displayed a strong desire to move up in weight and take on Canelo on his own terms.
I'll be going for Bud. You know, if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he gonna win or lose, but
although Canelo had previously been uninterested in the idea, claiming he wouldn't receive proper credit for such a victory, he has recently become more open to considering serious offers. With both fighters looking for high-profile opponents and no major fights currently on the horizon, the likelihood of this bout taking place in 2025 has grown significantly. Oscar de la Hoya, despite his complicated relationship with Canelo Alvarez, has shared his perspective on the potential clash between the Mexican superstar and Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford says he wants to fight Canelo. He's changed his tune. He said he's willing to move up 3 weight divisions. To me, that's kind of crazy, but that just shows you, like, man, the dog that's in Terence Crawford. If
De La Hoya maintains that his views on any potential fight involving Canelo are impartial. He has a strong opinion about the possible outcome of this matchup. The former world champion believes that Canelo, with his superior size and power, would have a clear advantage over Crawford at 154 pounds. Crawford didn't look all that dangerous in the ring against a beast, so imagine Canelo being the bigger and stronger guy. It's almost a no contest. I mean, when has a smaller, skilled fighter ever beaten a larger, skilled fighter? It's rare in the history of the sport, De La Hoya told Fight Hub TV. Crawford, known for his technical skills and punching power, would face a significant physical challenge against Canelo at his natural weight.
Terence Crawford will beat Canelo anytime. Anytime. Because
while some experts believe Terence Crawford has the skills to challenge Canelo, the difference in size and power could prove to be a deciding factor. For now, the future of this potential fight remains unclear. Both fighters have existing commitments, and whether an agreement is reached will depend on various factors, including contract negotiations and strategic decisions from both teams. Not many fighters have faced both Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez in the ring. The only fighter to do so professionally is Amir Khan, who suffered stoppage defeats to both. He has already shared his thoughts on how a potential Crawford versus Canelo matchup might play out.
what do I think of that fight? Yeah. I think that everybody knows that Crawford got the skill. I think that was a little bit Crawford.
There are a few others who have sparred with both fighters, and one of them has shared his perspective on how he believes the fantasy clash could unfold. That man is middleweight contender Jaron Davis, who also faced Canelo's rival, David Benavidez, in November 2021. Having sparred with both Crawford and Canelo, Davis told Mill City Boxing that he thinks it would be extremely difficult for Crawford and believes Alvarez would come out on top. Canelo is a big guy, and it's going to be tough. He can take a punch, so you're not going to hurt him easily. I don't think Crawford can hurt him with one punch. Maybe he could cut an eye or cause some trouble to the body, but I don't see him stopping Canelo.
A lot you have to do. It'll be a lot to get that victory based on, size alone. Not that size wins fights, but you got a guy that got size and skill.
He's going to need to put some muscle into his punches and work the body. It's going to be a tough task, said Davis. Canelo can really fight. He's got moves and traps. It's not easy to deal with him. In boxing, nothing is impossible, but if I had to place a bet, I'd put my money on Canelo. I'm not taking anything away from Crawford, but Canelo is great. Can Canelo stop him? He's the bigger guy, and I think one punch could do it. David Benavidez has also shared his thoughts on a potential Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford matchup.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's the money fight. You know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest.
Bud moved up to the 154-pound super welterweight division for his last fight, where he defeated Israel Madrero by decision, earning the WBO interim super welterweight title. Crawford now holds an impressive professional record of 41-0. On the other hand, Canelo is considered one of the greatest fighters of the modern era. He defeated Edgar Berlanga at super middleweight in his most recent bout and has an impressive record of the 1st of February, 62 as a professional. Benavidez praised Crawford's technique but questioned whether his power would carry over to higher weight classes. To face Canelo, Crawford would need to move up 2 more weight divisions.
But it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It'd be a great fight, but I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and after this fight, what else are you gonna say?
In a recent interview, Benavidez said, "To be honest with you, Crawford is one of the best technical fighters I've ever seen. When he moved to 154, I'm not saying he had problems, but he didn't seem to have the same power he did at 147. And he'd still have to move up 2 or 3 more weight classes. Crawford is a one-of-a-kind fighter, but weight classes have to be respected. I'd give Canelo the edge." Benavidez has spent most of his career at 147 pounds, meaning he would need to move up significantly in weight to face Canelo at super middleweight. Meanwhile, Benavidez has long been considered a fighter who could pose problems for Canelo in the ring, though a dream matchup between the two hasn't materialized yet.
You know what I mean? This is a tough fight. You know, the top WBC, the top people ranked at WBC are fighting each other. So I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, then I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, I set my conquest on 175.
To be honest with you, Crawford is one of the best technical fighters I've ever seen, Benavidez said. When he moved up to 154, I'm not saying he had problems, but he didn't have the same power he did at 147, and he'd still have to move up 2 or 3 more weight classes. Crawford is a one-of-a-kind fighter, but weight classes must be respected. I'd give Canelo the edge. That's all for now. For the best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing,
just too much overall. Like, is that kind of the same thing with the Crawford and Canelo because of the weight classes, the weight between them?
Yeah, I believe so.
The fast-handed Benavidez is set to face David Morrell in his next fight on February 1st. Meanwhile, the potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has captured the imagination of boxing fans around the world. After his dominant victory over Errol Spence Jr., Crawford has openly expressed his desire to challenge the Mexican super middleweight champion. Crawford, widely regarded as the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world, would face a monumental challenge by moving up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo. However, the path to this historic bout won't be easy. Demetrius Andrade, a former super middleweight world champion, weighed in on this highly anticipated matchup.
I love Crawford. He's a good friend. We reach out to each other. We've been, traveled the world through the amateur program. He see me beat people up. I see him beat people up. He see me get beat up. I got beat up. We both.
I love Crawford. He's a good friend. We've been in touch and traveled the world together through the amateur program. He's seen me beat people up, and I've seen him do the same. The stories could go on, but when it comes to weight and power, that stuff's real, Andrade said during an interview with Fight Hub TV. Andrade, who was once linked to a potential fight with Canelo, acknowledged Crawford's immense talent and skill. However, he believes Canelo holds a significant advantage due to his size and experience in higher weight classes. Canelo is a big bad wolf, and he can go the whole night. I think Crawford has the skills, but when it comes to Saul avoiding punches and blocking power shots, Canelo knows how to move. He has agility, not like a robot. I mean, it's going to be tough, Andrade explained.
Wanting to fight Canelo 3 divisions up. Good idea, bad idea?
I don't remember sizes of Terence Crawford.
Welterweight.
If he big, actually.
Maybe he's probably...
I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo, but I still think he could give him a good fight. I'll be sitting there rooting for Canelo all day, Andrade added. However, some other people feel differently, believing that Crawford is skilled enough to damage Canelo, despite the weight difference. Bivol was asked for his opinion on the much-discussed potential battle between the highly talented Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, who is regarded as one of the finest fighters in the sport today.
I came to the boxing gym one of the first lesson which I should learn. It's like you should respect weight classes. You know, yeah, what it means. But Terence Crawford now is my one of the favorite.
I remember when I first stepped into the boxing gym, one of the first lessons I learned was to respect weight classes. But Terence is one of my favorite active fighters. He has great skills, very good skills. Maybe he could show us something new. He already knows what to do, and his coach knows, so they'll find a solution for how to approach it, Bivol said. When directly asked if he thought Crawford could beat Canelo, Bivol replied, "I can imagine it." This highlights how much Bivol respects Crawford's abilities, even when facing a naturally bigger opponent. Bivol also mentioned that Crawford's boxing intelligence could give him an edge over Canelo, adding, "Crawford is one of the best fighters in the world right now. He has superior boxing IQ."
I don't know, someone told me to study Canelo, study Crawford. Crawford about to beat the shit out of Canelo Alvarez. I'm letting y'all know right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez.
Hall of Famer and ESPN boxing analyst Timothy Bradley Jr. favors Terence Crawford in a potential matchup with Saul Canelo Alvarez. Bradley took to his YouTube channel to make his case in favor of Crawford. "Everyone keeps talking about the weight," Bradley said. Indeed, Crawford only recently moved up from welterweight to 154 pounds, while Alvarez has been fighting at 168 pounds since late 2020. Oh, he's going to knock him out. When was the last time Canelo knocked someone out? Bradley asked. The last time Alvarez scored a stoppage was in November 2021 against Caleb Plant.
Yes, he is. Number 2, Devin Haney. You want to get back, man, go back to your roots, bro. Go back to where you started, bro.
Since then, Alvarez has failed to knock out established fighters like Dmitry Bivol in a loss and 40-year-old Gennady Golovkin. He's also gone the distance with opponents who were considered far below his skill level, such as John Ryder, Jamie Munguia, and Edgar Berlanga. Even Jamal Charlo, a natural junior middleweight, went the distance with Canelo, though he was never competitive with the super middleweight champion. "Y'all can quit with that he's going to knock Crawford out talk. Come on, man," Bradley said. "Didn't we just see Alexander Usyk fight Tyson Fury, who was, quote-unquote, 50 pounds heavier? Canelo is the same height as Crawford. He's not a natural 168 pounds. Usyk is a great fighter, absolutely, but you know who else is a great fighter? Crawford. The great ones know how to figure it out."
Where'd you start? You started in Mexico, man. Go back, get one of those guys out of there, man. Go back, start there. That's where you start. Go back to your roots, bro. Get some of that humble pie, bro. Go back, start where you started. Start where you started it.
Bradley also highlighted Crawford's 74-inch reach, which is 3.5 inches longer than Canelo's, and his ability to neutralize opponents' offensive output with his counterpunching. Alvarez is already known for being a low-output fighter, and Bradley believes Crawford can win a decision by maintaining distance, using straight punches, and tiring Canelo out down the stretch. "Don't go running away from the fight now, Canelo," Bradley said, referencing Canelo's apparent avoidance of David Benavidez. Imitating Canelo's higher-pitched voice, Bradley added, "Remember what you said, easy fight, easy fight, easy fight." Though many boxing analysts share Bradley's opinion, most in the fight game believe that the size and power difference between the two is too great for Crawford to impose his skills.
Just with Canelo, obviously he had his fight with Edgar Berlanga announced recently. Not received necessarily a positive outcome and reaction he'd have liked. What did you make of the Canelo Berlanga fight?
Bradley, known for his strong opinions, is confident in his controversial take. "I'm going to get back to my hater raid," he joked at the end of the video, sipping his drink. You already know. Whether the boxing world will get to see a Canelo-Crawford matchup depends largely on Alvarez. Crawford, who became the undisputed welterweight champion in July 2023 after stopping Errol Spence Jr. in 9 rounds, made even more history earlier this year by becoming a 4-division champion. He outpointed Israel Madrimov to capture the WBA title at 154 pounds. Canelo, the Mexican icon, has also enjoyed significant success in recent years.
Listen, I think Berlanga's a talented kid who's getting better. He's improved recently. I I think he still needs more seasoning, but I see an improvement in him. He is a
After claiming the undisputed super middleweight title in 2021, Canelo fell short in a challenge against then WBA light heavyweight champion Dmitry Bivol. However, the 34-year-old has since bounced back with 5 consecutive wins, defeating the likes of Gennady Golovkin, Jermall Charlo, and Edgar Berlanga along the way. Legendary boxing trainer-turned-analyst Teddy Atlas shared his thoughts with Fight Hub TV on the potential mega-fight between the two stars, stating, "I'd find it hard to go against the American southpaw. Very few people have the appetite or inclination to challenge themselves, Mr. Crawford does. I ain't never going against that guy. Father Time might catch him, but I don't know if a weight class can catch him."
Everybody that believes in hardcore boxing fans, they know Crawford can beat Canelo, just like they knew Bud was going to beat Spence.
It's a tremendous challenge because Canelo is a tremendous fighter. He's bigger, stronger, and can punch and time you. But just because you're smaller doesn't mean you can't find a way around it. Crawford will come up with a game plan that forces the other guy to use his size, McIntyre said, speaking to Fight Hub TV. He gave high praise to the undefeated Crawford, who is rumored to be facing Canelo in May or September. Crawford has all the tools to win a third weight class undisputed title. Any hardcore boxing fan knows Crawford can beat Canelo. You have to really understand boxing to say that, McIntyre added.
This is real simple. Real simple. You just got to know boxing in order for you to be able to say that. And Terry's going to get in there and do what he needs to do. Perform.
On Conor Benn's recent performance, McIntyre stated, "I think he looked like trash. I didn't watch the fight, but some of the coaches were watching it while I was driving, and they said he looked like trash. I know Pete Dobson really well, and he gave him a tough fight, but I don't think much of Ben. I really don't know him. I hear his name." Asked about Ben wanting a fight with Tank Davis next, McIntyre responded, "Why would he go down and pick on guys at 135 and 141? Why not call out guys at 147 and 154 if he really wants to fight somebody? Fight the best." Sharing his thoughts on the upcoming Tim Tszyu vs Keith Thurman bout, McIntyre said, "I think it's going to be a good fight. Tszyu has the momentum, especially since Keith has been out for a while." It's going to be a tough fight to call right now, but I can see the fight leaning towards Tszyu just because he has the momentum. Thurman doesn't have that momentum, it's like riding a bike, but Thurman has been at that high level for many years, McIntyre said. He will be cornering rising star Keyshawn Davis this Thursday in Las Vegas ahead of the Super Bowl on Sunday. McIntyre expects an excellent performance, thanks to the meticulous preparation. "I want him to pick up a few titles, win in a few divisions, and let his body grow. He's only 25 years old," McIntyre pointed out. "But 7 or 8 years from now, we could call him one of the greatest to ever lace up the gloves." "It's a process you have to go through to be called that," McIntyre continued. "I'm glad he's starting that process now. It's the energy level he has, he's on the big stage, and the sparring has been good, so he's ready. Now, it's about training every day, working on strategy, watching how he eats and sleeps, and keeping a close eye on him from the moment he wakes up to when he goes to bed. That's what my job is." It's no secret that former two-weight undisputed champion Terence Crawford wants to fight former super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez. However, that fight seems nearly impossible to make, leading to rumors about Crawford's potential retirement from boxing.
When is Crawford coming back? What are the plans for him?
I think he is injured now. We are planning to have something with him. I will discuss with him maybe in January. I see him last week in Hamburg. He said he's have a little injured, and
During Crawford's last fight against Israel Madrimov last year, his representative, Turki Alek, reached out to Canelo's team to set up the much-anticipated fight. However, a breakdown in communication between the parties led to Alek pulling back the offer. Eddie Hearn, who spoke to Canelo about the potential fight, also doesn't see it happening. Hearn suggested that Canelo is looking for opponents who will stand and fight rather than use a more strategic, elusive approach, something Crawford might have to do because of his size disadvantage. Meanwhile, Alec has floated the idea of Crawford facing interim WBC super welterweight champion Virgil Ortiz Jr. next.
To rehab now and training again, and we hope to. He's one of our plan to see him fighting.
However, Ortiz's trainer, Robert Garcia, revealed that, in a private conversation with Crawford, the Nebraska technician made it clear that he only wants to fight Canelo or retire, hinting at Crawford's potential exit from the sport. Alec seems to share this belief, telling the Stomping Ground, "I don't think Crawford will fight anyone except Canelo. Even though I wanted to offer Virgil Ortiz as an opponent, I don't think he will take it. I think he only wants Canelo." Despite this, the latest tweet from the undefeated two-weight undisputed champion suggests that retirement may not be on his mind just yet. "I have been doubted my whole career, and some still doubt me now. I love it," Crawford wrote on X.
And 25.
The goal obviously is a Canelo fight for him, right?
We hope he wants this fight, and why not?
You and Canelo, I know you guys are working towards trying to do a...
Seeing Crawford's post, a fan responded, "Keep fighting once a year. Bud, what an era." Crawford quickly cleared up any retirement rumors, replying, "The demand is high. It seems that Bud might continue fighting, even if it's not against Canelo." However, that hasn't stopped people from predicting a potential showdown between the two. David Benavidez, who also wants his own fight against Canelo, shared his thoughts on the potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. While acknowledging Crawford's technical brilliance, Benavidez expressed doubts about Crawford's ability to handle the challenges of higher weight classes.